2 Premier League games you play before Liverpool next play in the league. You can close that gap to 9 points with 2 victories. How important is it you try and take that opportunity and keep turning the screw?
Yeah, we have a massive London derby to play here in front of our people. That's the excitement and that's the focus that we have in the team.
A result in midweek saw you go through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Is there still more reason to be optimistic about Arsenal to remaining part of this season than people would have us all believe?
Yeah, well, we haven't done it in 15 years, twice in a row, and we're going to play Real Madrid. So, yeah, we are very excited.
Does that result also give you a bit of a bounce factor going into this big London derby?
Yes, it's a massive one, and we know that after that we have the international break, so we know how important it is to do a really good performance today, win the match, and then go there, and hopefully we're going to get some players back.
Team news-wise today, 2 changes from the team at Manchester United. Miles Lewis-Skelly and Gabriel Martinelli both start. What's your thinking, and does that mean still Merino will play as a striker?
Well, it means that we believe are the players to fit in with what we want to win the game, and to nullify as well the strength of Chelsea, the best players to start the game. It's going to be a long match.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so we'll start with your team news. 2 changes from your last Premier League game, but the big name missing is Cole Palmer, not in the squad at all today. What are you able to tell us about the situation?
He's not in the toilet, for sure. No, he had, as we know, or last week, some problem. And unfortunately, yesterday he had some very small problem. And we think that probably after the international break, he can be already back with us.
Are we, without prying too much, is this more like an illness or an injury when you say a small problem?
No. He had an injury yesterday during the session. Was very light session. That's why we think it's nothing important. But we need still to wait. But the feeling is that he can be back after the international break.
You said in the build-up to this game that the gap between yourselves and Arsenal is still quite big. I think you were talking in terms of where they are on their project and you are on yours. But today in the league, you have the opportunity to close the gap to 3 points. How big an opportunity is that for you?
Yeah, big opportunity. As you said, we can go 3 points from the second. That is where this club has to be. We're going to try to do our best and hopefully we can get the 3 points. Otherwise, we're going to continue our path and try to be very close to them as soon as possible.
You're progressing very well in Europe, a competition. Potentially you could win this season, but how big is the target for Chelsea of making sure you're in the top 4, potentially the top 5 to gain a Champions League place this season?
Yeah, big target. Since the day one, we have said that the target, our duty is to bring this club where this club has to be, that is Champions League competition, and hopefully we can reach that this season.
And so appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, we're talking about Arsenal's lack of goals. No Cole Palmer and, of course, Nicholas Jackson today. That is 43% of their goals gone from their starting 11. So that today, they're joint top scorers in the league this season with 4, Enzo Fernandez and Marc Cucurella from left-back, who's someone who's impressed you against all odds this season.
Well, he has. He's impressed me, but he's surprised me as well. How far up the pitch that they play him now and the confidence that he's got. Look at him here. He's on the edge of the box. The ball's being built on the other side of the pitch, but he's like an inside forward. Great finish as well, entering the box. But again, they throw him forward with or without the ball. In years gone by, he'd have held himself in a left-back position. What he's done there, he's gone into that, inside sort of forward position on the left side. Again, goes into the box, has that confidence actually going into the penalty area. I think he used to go into the box hoping. Now he goes in with a lot of belief. In years gone by, listen, with Selke Demir, he would not be making this run. He'd have held his position in left-back and looked for others to go and do it. What he's doing is he's saying, right, I've got this confidence, I can score. Any chance I've got this calmness about it. Look, he pulls off lovely. And look at that for a first touch. Lovely first touch. That is in the back of the net as he's making the touch, in his mind. And that's the difference. A few years ago, or when he first came to Chelsea, because he weren't everyone's cup of tea, was he? Let's be fair. He went through, so he's shown a lot of character. But every time he picks that ball in and around the penalty area, in his mind, Ian, he's scoring, isn't he? He believes he's going to score.
When you look at his heat map, he's all over that left side. It's going to be interesting to see how we get on with him today. But I'm quite pleased for him because I think that got on the wrong side of like people just giving him stick because of his price tag. He's all of a sudden he's appeared for Brighton and he's playing well. We're thinking this fella with the hair, but then you watch him and you see him continually improving. You see him for Spain in the Euros, and also, we're watching him now playing like an inverted left-sided attacking player. You know, I'm pleased for him. Obviously, I don't want him to play as well as he did in recent games, but like he's really impressed me.
Yeah. Let's sample the atmosphere from the Emirates, talking to left-footed players. William Gallas, double Premier League winner, of course, starred for both of these clubs, waiting to talk to us. Good to see you, William. Well, let's ask you about Marc Cucurella. The boys were just talking about him. Has he surprised you, his consistency this season in that role?
Yes, because at the beginning I didn't think he could go to that level, and right now, how we can see, you know, he can score a few goals. So, as we know, the confidence is very important for the players, and he's doing well at the moment.
What about Chelsea, first of all, overall, and Enzo Maresca? Are they about where you expected them to be, or a little bit overachieving?
No, at the beginning of the season, I said they're going to finish on the top 4. So right now, you know, they are very close. They are doing well, and the manager did a good job with them. Today, they have to do something. It will be difficult against Arsenal because Arsenal need to win, but it's a London derby, and when you play the London derby, you have to give everything.
And for Arsenal, we know about the size of the gap and the points they've dropped. I mean, mentally, they've just got to keep going Premier League-wise, haven't they?
Yes, they don't have a choice, even if they are disappointed, because we know this season they're going to finish second. And last season it was the same, 2 years ago it was the same. So their bonus is about the Champions League, but today, London derby, they have to do the job and they have to win in front of their fans.
Who do you fancy to win today?
It will be very difficult. I think it will be a draw.
I expected you to say that. Enjoy the game, William. Thank you very much. William Gallas.
Senior England call-up is preferred to Riccardo Calafiori at left-back, whilst there's a first start since early February for the fit again Gabriel Martinelli after a hamstring injury, as Ethan Nwaneri begins on the bench today. Raheem Sterling is ineligible to play against his parent club, having started against PSV in the Champions League in midweek. There's 6 changes today to that heavily rotated team as the regulars return. There's also 2 changes to the Chelsea side from their last Premier League game, the 1-0 win over Leicester City a week ago. Cole Palmer's absence is the headline news. He's not involved because of an injury picked up in training. Captain Reece James comes back in as part of the reshuffle. Benoit Badiashile preferred to toss in at centre-back. They've also made 6 alterations from their own midweek European exertions in the 1-0 Conference League win over Copenhagen on Thursday night. Palmer and indeed Nicholas Jackson, both of whom they hope will be back for the Blues after the international break. Goals few and far between in this Chelsea side, but Arsenal's issues up front have been long established as well, with those injury concerns, as these famous London rivals meet on Arsenal territory for the 100th time today. Chelsea's last visit in April of last year, seeing them suffer their biggest defeat in the history of this famous fixture, when thumped 5-0. And
played the same number of games with 9 left to play. But it wasn't vintage, it wasn't free scoring, but it's job done with a clean sheet for us.
Yeah, and I think at this stage like I said at the start, you need to win your home games. I thought we've done enough in the game to maybe make the goalkeeper make some more saves, especially the goalkeeper with such low confidence. I thought that some of the finishing was pretty poor. It'd be nice to be able to watch Arsenal and could score 1 more goal so as we can relax in the game a little bit, but you know, in the end they got it done. A real toothless Chelsea side though, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, much has been made of Arsenal's lack of goal threat, but with no Palmer, no Jackson today, that was a hard watch for Chelsea fans, wasn't it?
It really was, Steve. Yeah, it was. They were very, what's the word, passive. There was no belief about them going over. I didn't see a side that really believed they could go and get a result. They've been playing poor away from home, and you can see why. that's an example of that performance. Even when you're 1-0 down and there's 20 minutes to go, throw bodies forward, put the team on the back foot, and they didn't do that at all. I think they had one shot in the second half, so or a header from Cucurella. But no, very passive, there's something wrong there at the moment, because what was it? I'd say 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, or 2 months ago, you're thinking, oh, Chelsea are back here. They're back. They were playing exceedingly well, winning as well. You think, oh, they could go very close here. They've got some good youngsters, and I think they'll be a really good side in a couple of years.
I think
today, very passive.
I think that they really missed the pace of a Jackson and a Madueke. You look at Jadon Sancho today was non-existent today in this game. Thought Nkunku as well, like you said, Gaffer, Neto and Nkunku. You're feeling like that should be something that you've believed it changed positions them too?
I mean, they changed it a little bit second half, but Neto's not a player that you want to big centre backs breathing down his neck. He needs to be faced up, facing players, taking them on. And when he did drift out onto that right-hand side with his left foot, they got in the back. He looked more dangerous. So, I couldn't understand that position they played him. But I think at the moment with the injuries they've got, they miss that creator. And Palmer has been giving them that over the period of time he's been there. Not so much recently, but they miss that creator, that little X-factor player.
Because I think with the situation in this moment, the amount of injury that we have, I think we compete very well. We were not far from get something from the game. But as I said, unfortunately we lost, but now we have the international game. We can recover more players. Romeo Lavia back today, so it's important, and we can push for the final sprint.
You were still in the game, weren't you, right until the end, really? Was it an improved second half for you?
Yeah, I think the first 20 minutes we struggled a little bit, off the ball and on the ball. And then after 20-25 minutes, I think we start to control the game. Second half, again, we were in the game until the end. But has been a shame. The good thing is that we are in the right path, right direction. Now we have players that they come back from injury, and we can go for the final sprint.
Having said that, did you create enough?
I don't think between us and them there was big difference in terms of create chances. I think we are more or less in the same situation. When you play without a proper nine, it's difficult. Pedro Neto is helping us a lot. But for sure we could create something more. But in any case, I think the game was there until the end, and then at the end we lost, from set pieces.
Describe to us Reece James' performance today. He played him in midfield, he got the ball, gave it nice and early. Is there enough creativity in there for you? Yeah,
I think Reece is doing well, Mo is doing well, Enzo is doing well, for sure. When, as I said, in this moment, we have 3 of our players out, Madueke, Jackson and Cole Palmer, that they are the 3 that they score more goals. So it's normal that we are going to struggle a little bit, but overall I'm quite happy with the performance.
And what is the Cole Palmer situation? It was described as a muscle niggle picked up in training?
Yeah. The feeling is that he can be back for after the international break and within the next days.
Will that affect international football for him?
Yeah, for sure, because his injury didn't play today.
You're on the right path, you say. It's below you, it's incredibly tight, isn't it? All the teams pushing.
Yeah, that's why I think from now on is how also we manage a little bit emotion in terms of if you win a game, you see yourself close to the target. If you don't win, you see yourself far from the target. But until the end, it will be like this. We have still 9 games to go.
But in the first half, against the team that, in my opinion, are the best attacking team in the league, and the way they set up, the pattern that they have, and the quality that they have. And we scored the goal. We had so many big opportunities and big open chances to finish many more actions than we did, actually. But overall, a very important game that is going our way.
Why didn't that second goal come? Just lack of fortune?
Yeah, lack of fortune, lack of the final pass and the right decision. When the situation was so open, because we had so many of them today. Unfortunately, we didn't finish them. But we did enough to win the game, to deserve to win the game. International break. Let's have a breath and bring some players back. I didn't.
Because they came back, although they didn't really create a great deal, they forced their way back into the game in the second half, I felt.
Yes, they did, and they have the quality, and they have, if you give the ball in the right areas as well, and you cannot really go and put the ball under pressure immediately, and they are set. It's very difficult to get the ball off them, and you can get very exposed, but I think we did that very well afterwards.
When a game is like that, and you're thinking, well, maybe it could go one way or the other, you have the confidence, you have this remarkable centre-back pairing. I thought Saliba was excellent again today.
Yeah. The whole team as well, because we weren't able to finish some of the action that was so open, and that made a transition moment in the other way. The way the team track back and get together immediately was incredible. The attitude, I really like the attitude of the team.
It was a real heart in the mouth moment, wasn't it? That David Raya moment. It's just, I mean, he turned around and gone, wow, like that.
I haven't seen it again on TV, but live it looked like what is happening here. So David has been sensational for us.
And if you can't win the league and you're still in the chase, I know you won't give that up. You need to finish in the Champions League. This is a massive win for you today because there's a big gulf now between you and 5th, 6th.
Yeah, it was a big game, obviously, and we wanted to win and get that feeling again before the international break against a top team. We've done it, and let's go game by game.
And what do you do now for the next 2 weeks? Do you have any sort of a break, or you just studying, working with the ones you've got?
Well, we have a few players, not many, a few players. I would have a few days off, and then